All right, KSK book review, Job part 3. All right, so Job is talking with God. He's at a point where he's like, look, he's like, look, God. All right, so I'm going through all this stuff. Just tell me what it is. Like I know I didn't do anything wrong. Just what is. Of course, I'm paraphrasing here. He says, and then God says, again, you basically really didn't answer Job. He just goes into another little rant. He never answers them. He just goes into another rant about, uh, you know, can you do this? Can you do that? Have you see what's going on with the planet, with these animals? Where were you with this? He goes into all of that again with Job, basically saying, listen, you can't do anything, you don't know anything. You aren't in a place to even question me because your understanding, your lack of knowledge and wisdom, you aren't in a place to understand where I'm coming from. Not only that, God is looking at it in the sense of he's looking at the whole universe. By God looking at the whole universe and Job looking at it from his place of being on earth and his understanding of it, he's looking at it in a sense of pretty much what Satan had accused him of saying, if I do good, I get good. I do good, I get good. But that can't be right because, as we know, that's not right on earth. And it would have to be when you do bad, you get bad. It can't be, it's not going to be exactly equal and fair every time. Somebody do good, they immediately get good. Somebody do bad, they immediately is bad. And then it's almost as if God was saying the earth is too vast, it's too big, the universe is too big, and God is seeing every intricate part of the earth and the universe to be. It's too much that he knows that he can't even begin to explain to Job. Like, hey, if I tell you to do, if you have to trust in me and know that good things are going to happen to you, even though if you can't see it from your level of understanding, just know in time it will get better. Now, is this fair to Job? No, because Job really didn't do anything wrong. And actually, God even told him he didn't do anything wrong. And even further than that, God even chastised his friends, Job's friends, for believing that Job did something wrong. And he even punished them and said that they had to sacrifice some animals, you know what I'm saying? Because, of course, they were sacrificed then, because they spoke falsely of God. They saying that God was just. They were saying that God was equal. And the truth is that on this earth, in this universe, things aren't exactly equal. It can't be equal. And from our understanding on this planet, we think, well, things have to be equal. Things have to be exactly fair. But the thing is that it's not fair. Now, if you look at the examples that God gave in Job, he gave you a couple of things. One, he said that that might is right. He have to be saying that. God is saying that by the example that he gave by the animals. He also saying that when you have people around you, friends and that think that you deserve the bad things that you're getting, they don't know anything. That's also what he's saying. Because just because something bad's happened to you don't mean that you're doing something bad. So that means that also people have to learn from that example. And Job also learned from that example. Now, was all this fair to Job? No. Did he deserve it? No. God said he didn't deserve it, but he used Job as an example for that more people can learn. Because guess what? I learned, his three friends learned, and anybody else who read the story of Job and got a deeper understanding of this, you learn through that. But it wasn't fair. We're not going to act like that what happened with Job was fair. Like how sometimes a lot of scholars and Christians, they'll try to paint this thing like it was somehow fair. But we know it wasn't fair. Also, you got to remember what happened with God and Satan at it on earth when Satan came amongst the sons of God with God when they present themselves, and they said, hey, and God was the one who brought up Job. He opened up about Job. Satan didn't ask about Job. God brought up Job to Satan as in a way to bait him, as in to reel him in. He knew Satan was going to be like, give him some type of criticism about him. But I believe that God actually used Job as an example, knowing that it wasn't going to be fair, but he used him as an example anyway, just so that he can get Satan involved in doing the things he needs Satan to do, because he created him. He know how he worked. He's like, okay, well, listen, I'm gonna create this. How I'm gonna bait him. All right, so I'm gonna go into this. He's gonna have this to say. I'm gonna say that. He's gonna. Okay, this is what I'll do. Okay, as soon as he come in here, this is how I'm gonna hit him. All right, boom. You see my man Job. All right, yeah, he's doing this thing. What man? He only giving because you giving him. He only with you because you giving him so much. And then he goes down. We got this whole story, and he uses them, and now everybody can learn from him. Now again, it was a lot of stuff that happened. Job lost family. He lost cattle. He lost land. He lost a lot of different things. Is it fair? No. In this whole scheme of the universe, is this whole thing fair? No. But it is a lesson that was learned. And I don't know, maybe, what I'm saying, one of the things that we should take out of this is that in the big scheme of things, if other people learn from this, if those sacrifices that was made by those human lives, at that time, if it was worth what we all can gain out of it later, so maybe we all can gain more out of it than what was lost in those lives all those years ago. Also, at the end, of course, God eventually ended up giving Job all the things that he lost and doubled it. So at that time, see, the thing was, Job's question never was answered. Job kept asking, but he never got an answer from God. He never did. But in addition to that, by him not getting an answer, his faith actually grew. And it's a weird thing to say because it's like his faith grew in the sense that Job couldn't, in a way, work it as he was at that time anymore. He couldn't continue to do good and then expect good. He actually just had to do good and just have the faith that things are going to go well. And if they don't go well, you still do good and keep the faith. And that's how, that's how that pretty much should go. And that's how that works. Now, that was pretty much the end of it. But I think what we all get out of that is a lesson about, one, God and Satan's relationship at the beginning. Two, friends and how they look at you. And another three is, about things not being fair and might being right and move forward. That's why a lot of people in history want to get this might, because they'll just take that aspect of it and try to just get to the point where they feel like they're gods and they don't need God. And if they might, then they don't have to worry about any of these things. There's certain pieces that people like to take out of it. But if you look at it all and you're like, okay, yeah, God wants you to be strong, get the wisdom, get the knowledge, but he also wants you to have faith in him, and he also wants you to be learning on all these different levels. So it's a physical, spiritual, mental level, and financial level of learning here. So anyway, that's in conclusion of the book of Job. I hope y'all got something from it. Again, I encourage everybody to read for yourself. Thank you, man.